Welcome back to the Holistic Business and Life Mastery Show. I'm your show host, Supriya Roy, your holistic business and marketing coach. Here is a place dedicated to holistic professionals to help them align their business for calm profit and to their life's purpose. Let's talk about today's topic, which is 3 ways to help you increase your income. Is your income telling you that it's time to make more money? Well, if you are feeling that, today's episode is going to highlight to you what are some of the causes that are resulting in you creating low income, and the solution is high income, and what can be done to create a higher income for you through your holistic practice. Sound good? Most holistic wellness professionals that come through our doors think that it's more clients that are going to help them overcome the problem of increasing their income. Or they think of something like, well, if I just increase my prices, that will also help me increase my income. Though I like to always look at the deeper reasons why they're actually increasing or they're improving. However, the way we coaches look at how to solve a problem is we look at the actual symptom. So the symptom here is low income, and we ask a deeper question like, well, what's the level of thinking that's creating this result? And then we help our clients see that the level of thinking that is creating this result will probably not be the same level of thinking that will create the wanted result. Making sense? Even Einstein says that the same mind that created the problem is not the same mind that can solve it. Yeah, Einstein said that. But we love that quote because definitely, even if you are just a new person in your business, even my high value clients, someone that's been in business for longer than you, experience similar blocks on their road. So this is a universal principle of the level of thinking that you have currently is creating the result that you currently have. So to be able to shift to the desired result, which is a higher income, you're going to need to reflect on what level of thinking you need to adopt next to be able to keep moving towards the desired results. Because our level of thinking creates a level of making decisions that you're making, and then the decisions are creating a different or a level of actions, and then the actions create the results. So let's go through that again. Our level of thinking creates a level of decisions, and the level of decisions then create the actions, and the actions taken then generate the results. So therefore, that's where we look at what is currently happening that's creating this result. So when we talk about low income is always a result of the 3 things that I'm going to share with you today. And hopefully by listening to this podcast, you're going to be able to see ways to improve them. And if you're looking to work with someone directly, please don't hesitate to reach out. The links are all in the show notes, and you can always visit my website, which is www.supriyar.com, and you can check out what we are offering straight away there. So let's talk about what is low income, okay? Low income is generally saying that there are some causes, there is some level of thinking that need to be corrected. Because who wants to earn less for what they're currently doing? Yeah? So I'm sure as a holistic professional, you are probably doing a lot already, though your desire to earn more means that you're currently probably not getting enough for what you're currently doing. So a lot of people think the straight answer is let's get more clients in. Let's go and spend a lot of money on ads and let's get more clients in. Though, I'll tell you what, burnout is caused by low income. Now, when you think about when I say that, what comes to mind for you? Do you feel like you can fit in more clients right now with what you're currently doing already? I bet 90% of you will say, oh my God, yeah, if I really think about it, I really cannot serve more people because I'm currently doing a lot more with my time. So could it be that your calendar doesn't even have that space to serve more people? And here it is, then there's a conflicting, thinking that is saying, no, I need more clients. Can you see? So there's this conflict in your thinking and then conflict in your doing. And then there's that misalignment that's leading to misaligned actions, which is creating your current result. So what we want to do is change that thinking. We want to shift that thinking from a misaligned one to an aligned one to increase your income, by which means is that you start to look at different ways of doing things. So let's talk about number one. The number one mistake or the bad thing that people do is they undercharge. What does undercharging mean to you? I used to think undercharging meant that I need to increase my increase my prices. That, if there's two yoga studios side by side, they're charging 25 per class, I am charging 20, so I'm undercharging. Well, I got challenged by my coach back then, and I'm going to pass on what really worked for me. People don't look at pricing as apples for apples, especially when your marketing is saying, hey, for $25, you're getting this. Whereas if the other person is saying, well, I'm just charging 20, people will look at who is giving them more value and they'll be willing to pay for that versus the cheapest. So straight away, I want you to adopt the thinking that undercharging, that problem is not fixed by charging more. Undercharging looks at how you currently put a value on what you do currently. Meaning, what does your service actually provide to the client? What is the value of your current time? What is the value you're putting on the offer that you are offering to whoever your target client is? Getting this? So undercharging is coming from a level of thinking that, I better not charge as much as them because then people will want me more. Okay, so this plays out in these ways. Number one, an organization asks you to give them a discount in this way. They say, hey, we've got other providers, but we thought to ask you, would you be willing to do 10 weeks for the price of 8? And you are thinking, well, I would be missing out on, this deal altogether if I don't take it. And you say yes. But the result of that is you actually undervalued, or you actually didn't give any value to the 2 extra weeks that you're going to have to show up and provide services for, and you're getting paid less. Okay, so those 2 weeks won't be covered. Now, you could go around and round in circle like I used to and say, well, at least that's a client, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, unconsciously, there is a feeling within you that said, yeah, I'm giving away 2 weeks. Okay, I'm giving away 2 weeks because of this bigger client. You're putting the value on the client and you're not putting the value on your own services and your time. Can you see the difference? So undercharging is hitting you subconsciously and lowering your own value. The second thing you might do is someone asks you to do a presentation, a talk, or a free class or a free session. No payment, nothing else, but because they're going to give you the exposure. Now, at first, you might do that, okay, because you want to increase your brand awareness. However, when you don't have any exchange of value with them, other than the fact that they trust you as an expert to be on their platform, to share your things, and you don't ask for anything in exchange, other than, what they're, offering, then that is also lowering your value. Also, that exchange without any strategy behind it, you're going to come home with nothing other than some claps and likes, but all the benefits will go to that brand because they're the ones who are representing you. They're the ones that are hosting you. Getting this? Okay, so that's number 2. And number 3 is your time management. You're undercharging for your time by taking the amount of time that you take to do your job or do your work, and you spend that time. Perhaps one of the things that I see a lot of holistic professionals do is that what they could have done in an hour, they spend doing 5 days, right? Because they think, well, there's no one pressing me. And this is a very big trap that we've all been a part of. So we end up spending, or you end up spending 5 days, dilly-dallying, and then finally getting it done, no matter what reason you gave it. Could be that, I'm a perfectionist, or I want this done really good, or whatever. But that time that you spent doing the work that you did, guess what? It's unpaid work. Unless you pay yourself for it. And I bet you 100% of the time that you're not paying for yourself for all the hours that you do, track you spent on the business. You didn't pay yourself for it because it's too long. I'm going back to a story that I had going on in my life at the time when business turned 7 years. I really hit a bottleneck where, I found it really difficult to manage my business, okay, and be the service provider and be the director, okay. I had a really big bottleneck as to who was managing the business. So for me, a question came up, well, what's the next step? What should I do? Should I hire a business manager? And one of the biggest bad thinking that I had then was that, I won't be able to afford a business manager. You know why I said and thought that? It's because of the way I thought of the job, okay? I thought this is the exact way I do things. So that means, hiring a business manager would equate to that many hours a week. And then that's how much I would have to pay them. So I ended up not getting a business manager. So think about that, and then I also obviously spent time to separate myself from the business to be able to take on the business manager's role, and got really strict with myself on how I manage my time. And I had to, because if I wasn't being able to pay myself for being the business manager, then I couldn't have taken the role on, right? I couldn't do that anymore because, my coach wouldn't let me. So just think about it. Undercharging is not just where you are charging less than someone else. That's just not even a thing. The undercharging means how you're valuing your time currently. And the solution to this is put in a level of thinking which actually gives back the value of your time. So work out what is the cost of your time. What is the dollar value that one can pay you to work with you per hour, and then you must manage your time in such a way, okay? And then depending on the clientele, meaning if it's a corporate client or if it's a general client, how much do you charge for your offer, okay? And whenever someone asks you for a discount or some sort of a deal, you must have a negotiation skill set in place, which helps you make it a win-win situation and always reach a karmic balance point where you are not negating or stealing from yourself the value that it takes for you to deliver that. So for instance, if you're going to do a free talk on someone else's platform, then you have to ask them for permission to go, well, is it okay if I share about what I'm doing in my business? And is it okay if I also give them the link to sign up for my newsletter or sign up to my list? Okay, there has to be an equal give and take for you to then come home and feel like, yeah, I actually got something out of that, even if it's not money. So it's the undercharging means undervaluing your time's worth and your service's worth. Getting this? So can you imagine if in 12 months time, if you started thinking like this, okay, and started making different level of decisions based on that thinking, which is, my time's worth is this, and my package's value is this because of this is the value that I offer. And if somebody is going to come back and say, look, can you do 10 weeks worth for 8 weeks pay, then what can I say back to that? As in, maybe they're not seeing the value in it. Maybe I can put the value back in by saying, look, yeah, I get that you want to pay this, but would this help if I did this as well, so that you feel like it is worth paying this, okay? Which is all about offer creation, okay? So the level of thinking first, though, what is the value you perceive of your time and your offers and your services? Then you make decisions based on that, which then turns into actions, and then can you see the results you might create from that? You can still charge $20 to have a marketing, to have an edge, but you're not going to be pitching $20. You're going to say, this is the value. Okay, you're probably going to have more clients stick around at that rate for that reason. Instead of, suppose you put it at $20 and they then lower themselves to $18, people are just going to keep leaving, because it's not about the price really, it's about the value. The result that you really want from that is consistent flow of thinking, decisions and actions that generate that income that is consistent. Undercharging is really about you claiming the stake in the ground and saying, this is my value, and people may not be able to see it, and the reason why they're not seeing it is because probably it's in my offer creation. How else can I communicate the value? How else can I show them that this is what it's worth? This is absolutely what happens when somebody is claiming themselves as the go-to, an expert, and then they are claiming that value from the marketplace, okay? Because they know this is the same thing that helped them. They're going to also be able to help others. And yeah, it's just a matter of seeing the value of it yourself. Hopefully that lets you see the trajectory in which things start moving when we look at how to charge versus undercharging. Okay, let's look at the second problem or cause of low income. The second cause is poor marketing. When we say poor marketing, what we mean by this is, a lot of the times what burns people or holistic professionals at both ends of the candle is that, yes, they'll spend some time going hardcore in marketing, ads and all that, and then they have to stop everything and then go into delivery. serving those clients. And then those clients leave, and then they're again having to do that. And it sort of becomes like a hamster wheel of doing a lot of things for marketing and doing a lot of things for delivery and doing. Marketing is simple and can be simple because when you do value-based marketing, it becomes a part of your business habits, okay? Business skill that requires you to show up as the expert even when you're not working with a client, which is if you are sharing content, if you are going to a networking meeting, if you're even going out and about and hanging out with people, you're always marketing. So it takes a little bit of thinking. We do help you do the level of thinking that helps you act like that, okay? But a lot of holistic professionals don't think like this. Usually to them, marketing means that they need to constantly churn out content and they have to do networking. They have to do all the things they don't like and like creating videos or whatever, and then they'll get some clients. Okay, it's a belief system. And I used to also think like this. Okay, I used to think that, oh, I have to do a post every day. I have to talk about my offers everywhere I go. I have to recommend everything to everyone and all of this. All these have tos, musts, shoulds, etc. Okay, little did I know that everything can be aligned to me, my temperament, my needs, and my vision and goals. I never wanted to be just a yoga teacher or just a Ayurveda practitioner. My core purpose is a teacher. My core calling is to help people elevate themselves. This is my vision for myself. So for my own trajectory, I've always worked in alignment to showing up as that person. I'm not always teaching, by the way, but I'm just saying that's who I see myself as, right? So in my marketing strategy, I worked out exactly what suited me. I don't find it hard to be talking to someone when I'm out and about. I'm not a different person that they're meeting. Okay, so I've never so this is something that I've learned about myself, which I find that has helped me sustain a business over the long term, and that is I haven't been someone else inside my business and I haven't been a different person outside. I just wear one hat, meaning I'm just the same person. So the only difference is I know I have a strategy in place whenever I am around a prospect. If there's someone that I know that needs my help, I'm not sharing with them anything until they ask for it. Okay? But poor marketing happens in many ways, and poor marketing leads people to confusion or have their sales resistance go up, and they become repelled instead of attracted to you. And so therefore, you're really not getting that consistent flow of income. I'll actually be sharing a workshop to New South Wales Small Business Week or month in a training about organic strategies to increasing sales. And I've always done organic marketing. So organic marketing is that you're actually very clear about what is your message, what is your target market. You are clear about what you sell, what you do for people. And then whenever they show up along your journey, you're the walking billboard. You're the walking, talking product and service provider. You know, that's the person they want to work with. So a lot of people separate themselves from that. They think that marketing is like what the bigger brands are doing, all the people that they see on social media, how they're presenting themselves. But that's not the way to do it, because that's exactly the thinking that's leading to even poorer marketing. And, following the Hormozis. If you don't know who Alex and Leela Hormozi are, they're like the guys that are making $100 million a year. And they're going to keep making more because their clientele is very different to yours. Okay, there's a lot of people that are following a lot of these high earning influencers, but their marketing is not the thing that you can follow. They will teach you the fundamentals, but the way they teach it to you is the way it has worked for them. And their clientele, their things are very different. So that's why this is how we differentiate at Holistic Business Mastery, is that we help you align your marketing strategy to you. Okay, the fundamentals are the same, but what I have learned through my journey of evolution is that it will change based on who you are trying to become. And the marketing that works best is value-based marketing, and that really helps you align yourself with your ideal market, ideal customers, instead of just anyone that will hear you. And that's what gets people into the hamster wheel. So can you see the level of thinking? The level of thinking that creates low income is poor marketing, meaning it's the level of marketing that is not following a strategy. So the thinking is, there is no strategy, let's just give everything that I've got everywhere. Okay, there's no actual proven step-by-step strategy you're following. You're just posting every day. Or even not posting any day, or you're doing the flyer run, but there's no, actual intention behind it except for, hey, let's get everyone to see that I exist. The thinking is that you and your marketing is separate, that your marketing is something that is a different mechanism. Okay, so then it trickles down to a level of decision making. So you decide, okay, well, marketing is separate to me, and so I'm going to do this. So I'll put a post on Facebook, I'll do a flyer run, I'll do a website, etc. And again, the incongruency trickles downstream, and then the actions end up happening that you end up creating a generic or something similar to something else you've seen outside of you, which is a lot of people, and including a past client of mine, they were determined, despite me telling them not to. As a coach, I can't actually give advice. So I've got to, respect that they're going on their own journey. So this client, I gave them the guidelines on how to create the website. They followed most of it, though when it came to presenting what they offered, they ended up going with exactly what other people do, which is not the way we identified their target market was. But hey, they did it and then they shut down later on. Okay, so let's go through those things and see whether you're making those mistakes or not, and know that there is a way to correct them. You need to personalize marketing, meaning you need to align your thinking, your messaging, and your clarity about your target client, needs to come through to what you're deciding to put out there. Okay, so the thinking is clarity versus no association whatsoever. Thinking of a winning campaign is you have clarity about why you're even doing the marketing. Then the decisions are based on, well, what's the most cost effective and highest return on this investment that I'm going to make of time, money, energy to do this action. Okay, and then your actions follow. And then can you imagine if you acted in that way, what it can look like for you to follow that through a course of 12 months, what sort of revenue that might generate, especially when you are consistently showing up that way, which is effortless for you. Okay, it doesn't mean, it doesn't take away from your ease, from your level of needs. Okay, So poor marketing is that, okay? Poor alignment. So poor marketing, better marketing. Value-based marketing helps you look at exactly what it is that you're doing, why you're doing it, and then you're going into decision making as to, okay, how am I going to show up? And then you're going to go and do it. Make sense? Then it gives you back your time and gives you back your sanity about marketing actually happening through you, not to you or by you. It just happens. Yes, you may still choose to do flyers. You may still choose to do a website. Yes, you will do them. Though that'll have that thinking translated. And that is high quality marketing, which you cannot hire an agency to do. Well, if you can afford an agency to do it for you, they'll still need time from you. Cool? So this is the purpose of a smaller business like yourself, to do this work so that you can increase your income. Let's look at not selling enough to be your third one. The third cause of low income is that you're not selling enough. What does that sound like to you? How does that feel for you? Do you feel like you're selling enough? Now, what I don't mean is that you're not getting enough clients. There's a big difference. When we're talking about selling, we're really talking about, okay, downhill from marketing, the clients are looking, finding you attractive. They come down to your environment, they come to your shop, they come to your business, and then they want to buy from you or they don't want to buy from you. Have you looked at what makes them or what helps them make those decisions and how you're making it possible for people to buy from you? Okay, and so let's talk about what's the line of thinking that creates low income or not enough sales or no sale, and what creates more sale or sale. Okay, so the level of thinking that goes into no sale is, firstly, the marketing is not connecting. Okay, it may connect them to something that they read of yours, or they may get fascinated with, oh, okay, wow, they're sharing about yoga, or they're sharing about Ayurveda, or they're sharing about this new therapy, or they're sharing about something that I'm really fascinated about. Let's go and look into it. And they'll come in or they'll call or they'll inquire, and some things happen after that. Then they find out the information that they get. So they may land on your website or your post or your phone voicemail, or they end up talking to one of your representatives. What happens through these touch points is it's a decision-making touch point for them. Before they go and buy something from you or they make that commitment, they're already making micro commitments. What ends up in a no sale is usually something they have decided on even prior to you or to them finding out what the price was. For example, you may have answered the call, but you didn't lead them to think in a way that can help them to make that purchase. I'll give you an example. So people used to call me my studio, and yes, I came up with a system where I call them back. Okay, so I call them back, and yet the quality of questions that I was getting was, oh, well, how much is this? And when do I turn up? Everything that was already on the website. And back then, I had no idea why this was happening, but people would find that information out and then they wouldn't call back or they wouldn't make the decision to go with us. This is when my coach helped me identify that it is the way I was treating that call that didn't let them make that final decision to go ahead and purchase the program or the membership or whatever I was selling. What I mean by that is, I wasn't being rude to them, but when you are leading the conversation, and by the way, we give you a script in our programs, but when you are leading the conversation, you're asking them more questions to get to know them first before recommending them what it is that they should buy from you. Okay? Whatever their information they've collected, they'll come to you with that, right? Though, because that is the time when you're connecting with them, it is better that you connect with them first and then recommend based on what they need, instead of just answering their questions and instead of trying to sell them what they came to you with. And the reason why I was making this mistake was because, yes, I had read it out there in the ethers and internet that, yeah, you're not selling well, so I looked at how I get sold to. And then I became familiar with the fact that I actually go to the bigger brands, I go to, the bigger shops, and I go to places where I'm anonymous, I'm just a cog in their wheels or machine. I'm just a statistic. But for a small business like mine is a small business, yours is a small business, okay? A solopreneur is a small business. We must treat our customers very differently. That is one of the biggest things that we have to know, that we have to treat them very differently. The reason is that because we are a small business, we're not offering low ticket, low value items. What we are offering has a higher value than the bigger stores, bigger brands, because our numbers are a lot smaller for a reason. Meaning our customer flow is a lot smaller for a reason. It's because we offer them a much high touch value program than those, right? Or we have a lower level of capacity. So therefore, our sales process is much more intimate and more care focused, okay, and connection focused. So there can't be a disconnect between what they see outside and what they see on the call or in person, and there has to be a process behind that. And it is again an aligned way of doing business. So when you learn organic selling, okay, organic sales means that you take a deep interest in what the client actually needs. Sometimes those clients you actually don't have anything for. And many a times I've had to say, sorry, we actually can't help you. Unfortunately, what we offer is not what you want. So therefore, I can recommend someone else to you. Here is their details. Okay? And then that's how it went. So that process itself helped me generate extra sources of income. You know how? Because those inquiries that came through that I was referring to, I then later on approached those businesses and said, hey, did you want me to send you more clients for a commission? Okay? Or did you want to do a referral partnership with a commission? Then proactively cross-marketing each other's clientele, because that's how you can increase your income too. But let's look at the first thing is not selling enough means that you're actually not selling, you're just answering inquiries. And that's not selling. And selling is not really selling, meaning that, or like a car salesman or a call center person, you're not taking them through deal to deal to deal. You're not a tour guide, but you are there as a kind of a coach, asking them meaningful questions to get to know what they actually need. Connection. So can you see the two levels of thinking? One thinks, oh, I haven't sold enough, so I need to sell something, so I need to sell. And then the other things is that I need to connect because I provide this high value service. So I need to connect first. So the two are very different, okay? And then the level of decisions that come from there is, okay, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? So I haven't sold enough. This is the low income thinking. I haven't sold enough, so the decision I make is like anyone that comes through my door, I'm going to tell them what it costs, how many places I've got, and I'll tell them how to work with me. And the actions turn out that way, and that can repel so many people, okay? Whereas high income people think, well, I have a service that is of high value, and I'm only wanting to work with certain people that are aligned to that. So the decisions I make from that is whoever I speak with, I will connect with them and I'll find out whether they are a true match for me and what we want to do here, and vice versa. Can we really help them? And then from there, the actions flow that anytime someone comes into our environment, especially to talk to us, they get a feel for who we are through the levels of questions we're asking, how much care we're showing even without getting paid, and actually how we are partnering with them from the start. So, we're building likability, trust, and authority even without them even paying us. And then whether they choose or whether we can help them or not, either way we would have helped them because, they either choose to work with us or we actually send them somewhere where they can get the help they need. Can you see the difference? So these are the three ways that you can increase your income. And yes, it's the symptom. Low income is a symptom. And I actually did some research on statistics, okay? I wanted to show you the statistic of marketing skills, business skills, okay? And I did this on ChatGPT, then I went inside the link and verified that this is correct. So American Holistic Health Association said that they found 60% of wellness professionals feel underprepared in their business areas that lead to inconsistent client flow and income stability. So that means, that lack of preparation, what preparation looks like is the planning phase, it's the thinking, the aligning phase that a lot of wellness professionals don't do because it's not really taught. You haven't really gone to a business coach before, or you've gone to one who are really traditionally looking at, hey, what are you doing right now? Let's correct that. Let's make you do all the things that you don't want to do. Though there is a level of thinking that they don't help you shift into without paying more, okay? And I have my own experience to call from that. Though here in Holistic Business Mastery, we're not the traditional business coaching center, okay? We look at exactly what I'm talking about here, which is we know, and that's why the focus here is holistic professionals. We're not trying to serve everybody in the world, okay? Although we do work with a lot of other professionals from other industries, let's stick to what holistic professionals are struggling with, and that is, their thinking is not serving them to create the result of higher income. And when they come to me and they say, oh, Supriya, I'm not getting enough clients and I'm not doing enough in my business, I'm not doing this, doing that, I start looking at what's the level of thinking that's creating the current results, and then I help them prepare for the new results that they're wanting. They want to increase their income. So how do we do that is we look at the thinking that is required to be able to have a plan and to take action from that plan. Okay, so it's all downstream from that thinking. So another statistic about, the overworking thing that I was talking about, the undercharging. Undercharging is happening from not knowing the value of your time, your service, and what you bring to the table, and how you can ask for the value ask for the value you deserve, or it's worth. That's it. And it's not really a mental or emotional thing. It's more about being a better negotiator and always looking at how to create win-win. Okay, win-win. Like it's not reasonable for you to ask for more money without actually showing how it is that you came up with that value. Okay, and people are looking for that sort of a holistic professional that knows their value. And those that do, they get paid. And the clients that work with those professionals, they get results. Okay, so let's look at what's another statistic. So National Wellness Institute, they're a big institute that actually do research and surveys for consumer behavior and everything like that in the wellness industry. And they found that 59% of holistic practitioners experience burnout. And 72% report feeling overwhelmed by their workload. And this is compounded by their passion for helping others, which can lead to poor self-care and unhealthy work habits. That is a big, staggering statistic, okay? And we always hear people say, I feel overwhelmed and I feel, I'm burning out. Well, as I mentioned, one of the biggest reasons why is undercharging. 72% feeling overwhelmed by the workload means that they are not valuing their time. I go into this in my trainings. I've shared it with my students in the past, which is, it's funny how much we underestimate our brain. Elon Musk had talked about this too. He said, the law of Parkinson's law is a universal law which says what can be done over 3 weeks can also be done in 3 minutes, and what can be done over 3 years can also be done in 3 days. And it's just a matter of what you decide it should be. Yeah. But Elon Musk said it. Okay, I love Elon because of what he stands for, what he does for the world. Yes, there's so many negatives about everybody, but I like to look at those things that are evolutionary. So, yeah, here's a thought for you, okay? How are you undercharging yourself? How are you going to overcome that? Here is another suggestion for you. If all of what I said today hit home for you, and you want an opportunity to work with a coach like myself, and it's your time now. We are approaching the last quarter of 2024, and we want to be prepared for 2025. If you're someone that considers themselves quite easily overwhelmed, okay, because you are doing a lot in your life, like many of us are, and you want the time to the time and slower, steady progress along the rest of the year so that you can be prepared and not just push through it, then now is the time for you to take the next step. Not next month, not in November, now. When you do that, when you talk to one of us, okay, that's when you'll find out whether we are a good match or not. You need to talk to those who can help you right now, because coaching is like helping you grow into the tree that you were born as a seed with, right? So whatever your potential is, you're going to be able to expand and explore and express into that by starting now. The right time for coaching is now, not sometime later when things are right. Because the more you water that seed that's within you, the more you're going to grow and expand and explore and express into yourself. The less you're going to water it, or the less you're going to move towards it, well, the more suppressed it will feel. And then that will create a new pattern, then that will create more time, delay, etc., etc. So, I am actually offering some free, risk-free means it's complimentary to qualified professionals. So the link is in the show notes. Link is here as well. I'll link it here in the video if you're watching it on YouTube. It's to help you apply for a risk-free coaching session to start now. Okay, I only take on 4 one-on-one clients every quarter, and I've got spaces coming up in the new quarter, and I'd love to hear from you. And hey, if we can't offer you what you need, I'll definitely refer you to someone who can. You've got nothing to lose except everything to win, because you need to take that action to back yourself. So the link will be www.supriya.com/apply-risk-free. Okay, so everything will be in the show notes, but lovely to be here today and this week. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Also, keep a lookout on our social media. I'll be posting. If you're not on our emailing list, get on there by going on this link and signing up. And I'll be doing some free trainings throughout the month of October, supporting New South Wales Small Business Month. We are partnering with the government to roll out free trainings for small business owners to help them succeed on their journey this October. As I said, the time is now. Take action, and we're here for you. All right. Thank you. Have a lovely week ahead.